Hello friends, I'm George, the nice manic gentleman. The brand of Maison Alhambra has gained a lot of traction in the fragrance world in the past year also for one simple reason. They're making unaffordable alternatives to original designer and niche fragrances. Especially their fragrances that are cloning some of the Tom Ford fragrances, and also things like Kilian's Angel Share, their alternative to Kilian's Angel Share, have gotten a lot of hype. But they also have a few products that are not so well known in the community. And in today's video, I'm going to show you one such fragrance. The fragrance is called Maison Alhambra Hercules, and it's an alternative to Parfum de Marly's Herod. And before I continue with the actual fragrance, I would kindly ask you that if you are enjoying my work, if you are enjoying my videos, I would greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, because that will help me a lot. So with that out of the way, let's get to the actual fragrance. As usual, let's take a quick look at the packaging of this fragrance. It comes in this brown colored box, which of course for people who have seen the packaging of Herod will immediately remind them of Herod. This is almost an identical packaging box design to the original fragrance. On the front, you got the name of the fragrance, the concentration, EDP, the bottle size 100 milliliters. On the back, there's a sticker of authenticity along with some additional legal information. And on the bottom, there's a production date. In this case, the production date is January of 2023. Once you open up the box from the top like this, and you take out the actual bottle, it looks like this. Now, the bottle itself is not identical to the one that you'll find with the original Parfum de Marly's Herod, but if you know how the Herod bottle looks, so you'll probably immediately recognize what this is trying to clone. Okay, I'll show you the spray in action, and then I'll talk about the actual scent of this fragrance. The sprayer is alright, nothing spectacular, but it's not bad either. So in the opening, there's for the first 5 or 10 seconds, there's a slight alcohol blast. You have to wait for that one to settle, to go away. But once it does, you're immediately greeted with a very strong and sweet tobacco note. And basically that's what this fragrance is all about. That's the backbone of the fragrance, and you can tell that from the opening to the deep dry down. There's a sweet tobacco note in here that has some added sweetness from a vanilla note. You definitely pick this one up. There's a slight hint of spiciness in the opening of this fragrance, and also a slight hint of freshness in the opening. Once this starts to dry down, that spiciness starts to go away, and the fragrance becomes even warmer, even sweeter. The vanilla note starts to get a little bit stronger, and the whole dry down is dominated by that tobacco vanilla combo. Now, there's the slight freshness that you get in the opening also carries on to the dry down of this fragrance. But all in all, it's a sweet tobacco fragrance. It's very simple to explain how this one smells. Now, how close this is to Parfum de Marly's Herod. Now, I said this a while ago, but from now on, I'll stop using the term percentage, when I try to explain how a certain clone fragrance is close to the original one, because I think that's highly subjective. But to my nose, this, especially in the opening, I would say it will get you close to the original scent, but this one feels a little bit fresher compared to the original fragrance. On the dry down, this gets closer to Parfum de Marly's Herod, because it becomes a little bit warmer, a little bit sweeter, a little bit more richer compared to the opening, and that spiciness starts to go away. So the opening is close, the dry down is very close, but still, even on the dry down, this remains a little bit fresher compared to Parfum de Marly's Herod. Performance wise, now I've had the Hercules for about 2 months now, and initially when I purchased this fragrance and I started to test it out, the performance was kind of disappointing. I was getting about 6 hours of performance, so about average performance. But 2 months down the line, and the maceration has helped a little bit with the performance. Now I get somewhere around about the 7-hour mark, maybe slightly over 7 hours of performance on my skin, which in my opinion is an above average performance, but not by much. Projection is good for about hour and a half. It's not super strong projecting fragrance, it's more on the softer side, but it projects nicely for about 1.5 hours. Now, versatility wise, this is a fragrance that because of its nature, sweet, dark, tobacco nature, is of course more orientated towards cold weather usage. You can Probably wear this one in, let's say, in summer, but definitely you should do it at night time, and you have to adjust the number of sprays when you're using it, this one in warm weather. So all in all, this is a good fragrance for cold weather usage. Also on the versatility front, I would say I would call this one a unisex fragrance that leans a little bit towards the masculine side because of the strong tobacco note. Price-wise, I paid roughly the equivalent of about $25 to acquire this fragrance, which in my opinion is a fair deal considering that the packaging is nothing spectacular, the scent, but the scent in here is nice. There's no roughness around it, it's nicely blended, and it has an okay performance. And in the end, my final thoughts on Maison Alhambra Hercules. Should you check this one out? If you enjoy fragrances like Parfum de Marly's Hero, like Bulgaris Men in Black, like Spice Bomb Extreme for example, and you're looking for a cheap alternative to those fragrances, then I think Hercules deserves to be checked out. Now, don't get your expectations too high because at the end of the day, this is a fragrance that costs about 1/8 of the price of the original Herod. So you should not expect to get like super close to the original scent and to have like a super fantastic fragrance quality wise. So you should have your expectations in check when you're looking for Hercules. But all in all, considering the cheap price point of this fragrance, I think it deserves a mention. And so in today's video, I showed you Hercules from Maison Alhambra, a super affordable alternative to Parfum de Marly's Hero. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I hope that I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.